I met a gypsy.
Literally exactly the way I looked at it. Like, I got hurt, and I'm not saying I got hurt because I was out of shape. Like, I thought I was in really good shape. Like, I'd been training with Swanee for years, and we do everything really, really well. But, dude, when we got back, I was like, dude, I want to go to another level. I was like, let's ramp up everything. Like, let's do everything more. Like, I want to do more. I want to do an hour longer on the cycle. Let's do a longer run. Let's be in the gym for an hour longer. Like, let's do whatever we can. Like, we have time right now. And it was tough for him because it's always stuff that he's probably wanted to do, but we really couldn't, like I was coming off an injury every time to do something, like I broke my femur in 17 and we're just busting our balls to try to get back and make the first race. We make the first race. I raced 4 races, hurt my knee, so that now we're out, and then we're struggling to come back to outdoors. So it was always felt like it was always something. And this was that time period where normally this would have been my break. Like, you're done with the season, you have a little bit of a break, go home, do whatever, hang out with your family. I didn't do any of that. I stayed at my house in California. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, we're going to be here. Let's put in as much time as we can possibly do. Like, anything you want me to do, I'll do it. I don't care what it is, and it was just that mentality where I was just like, it kind of brought me back to like the 2014, 15 kind of days where I was just like, dude, whatever we got to do. Like, I'm sick of being hurt. I'm sick of being this guy that everyone thinks can't make a championship because he's hurt. And I'm not saying I was getting hurt because I was weak or anything like that, but I just wanted to leave no stone unturned. I was like, let's do whatever we can. Like, and if it works, like, I'm going to be a beast. Like, I'll fuck everyone up then. Like, I feel like I'll do whatever I got to do. So that was the mentality, and that was really what made this year what it is. And transitioning into outdoors, I'm hoping that's going to carry over and do the exact same thing, because I feel like I'm on another level fitness-wise than I've ever been ever. So I think that'll really play out during the summer months for sure.
Yeah, I'm fucking excited for that now, like hearing that, So it's one thing though, right, to sit here and say it. Like, it's fucking so easy to say, like, I'm going to work so hard, I'm going to be a beast, I'm going to do, but like, so my equivalent of that is like open mat. You've got an hour and a half of just straight rolls with fucking killers, and it's hot. You're in a gi, like, they're fucking you up, and it's like, you've got to, like, at least for me, I've just tried to figure out a way to just go dark. Like, I'm not even me anymore. For like that hour and a half that I'm there, I just like give myself, it's like a sacrifice. I'm literally sacrificing that hour and a half of my life to just go fucking dark. Just be void and just go literally as hard as I can. I'm a piece of shit to everybody that I roll with. Like, I literally will just do everything for that hour and a half to just be a fucking savage. And you've almost got to like, there's a weird process that you have to go through. You have to like strip out who you are, what you've got, what your plans are after, like if you got a chick and fuck, all the bullshit. Yeah. So like, do you have that headspace where when you go to train and you're on a 3-hour cycle where you've just got to fucking go into the dark and just come out of it whenever it's done and be like coal again after, Oh,
100%. Because before, like, we would do stuff, but rarely was it like, I want you to go as hard as you can go. Like, go until you feel like you're going to die. Like, just do whatever you can do, because you're constant. When you're riding, you can't really do that. Like, you save that for on the track, to where you're like, I'll go as hard as I can go. Like, I'm pushing to the limit. But whenever we train, especially during the week, you don't have that as much. Like, you're just more focused on recovery, and then maintaining the fitness you have. Yeah. And at that point, like when I was in that era of, after 2020 when I got hurt, I was like, okay, let's go to the pain cave, and I just want to stay there. I mean, fuck it. Like, let's just see, what I'm built like. Let's see what happens. Yeah, like, why not, So we would do these cycles where, I mean, you are literally as hard as you can go. The heart rate's 190, like, you're through the roof, and it's literally just like, how bad do you want it? Like, how much can you dig to get what you want? And dude, once I started doing that, I felt like I just opened up Pandora's box. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I have such a big engine, and I can do way more than I thought I could, simply because I want it. Like, I wanted it more than anything. And before, I don't think I had that, as much, to where I didn't really understand how big of a mental breakthrough that was to do that day in and day out. Like, before, I'm thinking, all right, well, let's save it for the race and, like, whatever. But now I'm like, dude, if I have an opportunity where someone's like, or, Swanee is like, let's go out and as hard as you can fucking go. Like, to me, that's the most important thing I can do. Like, that's testing myself more than anything. Like, how bad do you want to do it? Like, what are you willing to do to go do it? And once I started to realize that, it literally just everything took off. And that's why this year I think it's been as successful as it was. It was that big mental breakthrough I felt like I had in those times where I was like, I'll do whatever it takes. And then to be able to put that to use, like during the races, was huge. Like, I know they're only 15 minutes, but I mean, of course you get gassed and everything. And I made a lot of passes at the end of races. Like, I passed Christian with 3 laps to go, I think, at Houston 3 to win my first race. I passed him again at Houston, or right before that at Houston 2 with, I want to say, 3 or 4 minutes left to go in that race. So it was like toward the end of the races where I was getting stronger and I was doing all this shit and I was passing dudes, and like, to me, I was just like, wow, that was because of all this stuff. Like, mentally, I knew I could push myself to a place I'd never been before, and I was able to apply that on the weekends, and that was huge, man. I saw that, and I was like, wow, that was literally just because of that. I mean, it was strictly because of those bike rides, those runs, all that shit I didn't want to do, and I pushed myself to a new level that I've never pushed myself to before. And, to have it come through the way it did and be this guy that was kind of wearing people down at the end of the race and stuff like that, I was like, that's it right there. That's what we were missing a little bit before, and now I got that. I needed that big time.
And do you think that that's something that you can look at in like other areas of your life away from racing now?
No, 100%. Just because I knew how much effort I was putting into something. So whenever I look at it at a life perspective, I'm just like, dude, like, if you wanted that bad enough and you're willing to put your life on the line to do it and literally go till you feel like you're going to die, then you can get a lot of shit done. Like, you can do really whatever you want. I mean, like, the sky's the limit, So for me, that kind of mental breakthrough was like, Jesus, like this ability to test yourself day in and day out and push, and like, because I've always been able to like push. I feel like I always had this ability to dig, no matter what, but to do it every time, and just be like, I'm never going to waver, like, I'm never going to just save it for the next time. I'm going to go until I can't go anymore, and I'll be damned if someone's going to beat me. It was just the attitude I had about everything. And this whole preseason was just different, man. Like, I just did everything wide open, as good as I could do it, as hard as I could go. And that was the life lesson pretty much. It was just like, damn, I can take this anywhere. As long as I do that and have that kind of attitude, then sky's the limit. Like, we can do whatever the hell we want.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.